Hello, everyone. Welcome to Paris Hair and Beauty Supplies, located here at 1566 Edgewood Avenue. We are here doing a series of interviews with not only Black entrepreneurs, but individuals who actually create opportunities within the community. And so I am here with the one and only WairGlam, Naomi, who is here with us. Thank you so much for being here.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. So in this segment, we're talking about foundation, makeup. Here at Paris Hair and Beauty Supplies, we always get individuals who come in wanting to know, how do they apply makeup? How do they know the shades that they're using? How do they know that they're using it correctly? And so we are kicking this off with WairGlam, and so we're here to dispel the myths, because I was wrong in a few things of how I tested my makeup. I'm surprised that I looked fine for all these years. And so let's talk about how WairGlam got started.
Okay. My sister and I both love cosmetics, makeup, anything that has to do with makeup. So for years, our family, our friends have been telling us, just do makeup, just be a makeup artist. My sister went to cosmetology school. I'm self-taught. But we had enough encouragement and love and confidence to go out there and finally start doing it. So here we are, WairGlam, and one person at a time.
Well, and a lot of times what happens is, and what I've noticed is that there's a number of companies. For instance, I'll walk into a high-end department store and everyone is trying on makeup. And a lot of times what happens, because we are African-American women, there's so many shades of us. So it kind of helps to know what makeup or what to not use. How can someone walk into a store and say, okay, look, I don't know if this works, because they can't try it on, because there's certain makeup you just can't. How do you know that that makeup is right for you just by sight, for one?
Initially, you have to know about your skin. Going into the store knowing, okay, I have oily skin or I have dry skin, and then either choosing a liquid or maybe a cream or powder.
Okay.
Also, people that may not have as many blemishes, you don't need something that's full coverage. So you can do like a CC cream or a BB cream. So going into a store, I always recommend picking two shades, one that's a little lighter, one's a little darker, to be able to mix that tone. Because with drugstore, you're not always going to get exactly that perfect color. So you may have to make it. And that's where a lot of people mess up, because they just go by, you know, what that bottle says and just apply. So
absolutely. And then of course, when an individual is choosing a color, probably depending on where they go for the color, is it important to know the company? For instance, we use Black Opal on my face, which is a Black-owned company, but the shades varies, and so which is very helpful. But if in fact you can't find that and not know where the company is based from, do you still recommend them getting two shades, even though the two shades may not match exactly the color that they are?
I recommend doing something that's in the middle and doing a little bit of research about a company if you have not heard of it before. Do they do animal testing? Do they use all organic products? So these things are good to know, but I always recommend going in the middle. So getting something a little bit lighter, a little bit darker. So if you need to add a couple drops of something that's a little lighter, you're able to blend it to make that work for you.
So initially, one of the things that I'm so afraid of, particularly my complexion, is going for a very light color. I was nervous when you were doing the color on my lips, because I'm like, oh my God, it's like it's like white, but it's not, as you can see. So why is it that women are afraid of certain colors? As far as the myth behind it.
Sure. With those lighter colors, those nudes, those light pinks, it tends to make the lips look ashy and dry. So to offset that and still achieve that look, you want to use a liner to blend that through. So in your case, what I did is that I added a darker liner to transition it, and then use the lighter color inside the lips to blend that through, so you can still get that light, soft look that you're looking for.
Gotcha, which makes a lot of sense. Now, in regards to a lighter skin, and we're going to get to a couple of people who you've actually have done outside of myself, and I want you to take us through what you should prime your face with it, things of that nature, because this is certain things I'm not aware of. And I think what happens when people walk into Paris Hair and Beauty Supplies, they don't know what they're getting, and they're just choosing just to choose. And then, of course, when you see them later, it doesn't match their complexion. So there was something that you told me that I was sort of like shocked, and I've been doing it for years. I took the foundation and put it on the back of my hands.
Yeah.
Wrong. Why?
The back of our hands are not the same color as our faces.
Okay.
So when you're picking a foundation, you want to go by the neck. A lot of the times you'll see people out and about and their face is lighter and their neck is dark and you're like, oh my gosh, her foundation looks hard. But it matches her hand.
Okay.
So, so what you want to do is to find a color that is going to match well with your neck so you can blend that up.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. Okay, so I got away with it. That's why. I mean, I don't know how I did, but that's how I tested it. And in fact, I walked into a store and they allowed you to do that, so the makeup artist didn't say anything.
Yeah.
So that's pretty alarming.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So as far as Black Opal, Black Opal is the product that we have here at the store. We have actually partnered with them to come into the store. Black Opal's not found in a lot of stores, so we're happy about it.
Yes.
What is it about Black Opal that makes it so special as far as when you were doing our skin?
Yes, Black Opal, what I really liked is the consistency.
Okay.
It gave that really creamy and natural feel.
And it felt
that
light.
Skin
It felt
has.
real light.
Yes, very light. So
Yeah.
it wasn't like cakey or, and it gave you like enough coverage. So
Okay.
the thing that I really liked about Black Opal is not only the feeling it gave, but it was really easy to apply.
Okay.
In your case, you can do it with a sponge or a brush, but it just goes on very smooth. So you don't have to have a dramatic look. It can just look very natural.
Of course.
And an everyday kind of look.
Do you recommend, there's in the back of a foundation, they always give you this little cheapy freaking, why do you guys do that? This cheap sponge that falls apart after, I don't know, a month. Is it best to just go get a foundation brush for your foundation?
I recommend a foundation sponge because when applying your makeup, if it's cream or liquid, you want it to go on flawlessly and just blend into the skin.
Okay.
So with a brush, sometimes it gives that streaky look,
Okay.
but if you're dabbing it on your face, it's just getting that coverage and getting into the pores and just making it look like your own skin.
Gotcha.
So I do recommend a sponge, but you can initially apply it with a brush just to get it over the face.
Okay.
And then to blend that in, I do use a sponge.
Now, on my face, and this is probably a really important question because a lot of women will ask, okay, I know there's mineral powder, I know there's all-day foundation. It can be confusing.
Yeah.
So what you used on my face was an all concealer foundation. What's the difference between the all concealer foundation and maybe something that Posner sells in their stores or in a beauty supply store where it's just basic powder, pressed powder? What's the difference?
What I found in the Black Opal concealer is that it has a thicker consistency, but as you said, it doesn't feel thick on your face. So in certain areas that you want to target, maybe you have some blemishes, you would use that concealer.
Right.
So that's the biggest difference between concealer and a foundation. Don't know if I answered the question.
Well, but the all concealer is concealer and a foundation in one.
Yes.
So initially I don't want to buy a concealer and the foundation, and I can just have it all in one. Okay, so is that good for everyone?
Yes, it can be, because when you are applying your makeup, you don't want to just have a flat canvas. Sometimes when people put foundation on, you don't really, you're kind of like losing the dimension in the face.
Okay.
So that's why you want to highlight certain areas and contour certain areas. So with that concealer, especially with the wide variety of shades they have, you're able to do that. So you're able to bring out the eyes and make them pop and then kind of carve out where you need to add that definition. So that's a really great thing about the concealer because it's not too light where you're not able to achieve that kind of look.
We're going to have Naomi in action as she is doing the makeup of one of our customers here in our store, here live. For most of you that's going to be watching this, it won't be live, but you're going to see the transformation and what color that we use on the face that we sell here at Paris Hair and Beauty Supplies. So we look forward to seeing that. So thank you so much, Naomi, for being here.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you. All right, so we are here with Sharon Levy, who actually has become one of the models for the Black Opal and Charlene K collection in the store, just so that Naomi can explain how she gave this beautiful look. But before we do that, we want to actually get a before shot of Sharon. Okay, so Sharon looks stunning, and I love the lips. So let's talk about the colors that was used on her face so that women would know, okay, listen, these are the colors that I should use that have the same complexion as Sharon.
Yeah, so since she's fairer skinned, we use the Heavenly Honey just as the overall base to match her skin tone. And then just to give it more of a warm tone so she's not washed out, we use the Carob as the contour color. So to define the cheekbones, around the hairline, and a little bit on the bridge of the nose.
So let's talk about the lips. We talked about the contouring of the lips with a lip liner. Did you use a lip liner for Sharon?
Yes, I used a darker lip liner for her, just as we would for a darker skin tone.
Okay.
Just so it makes the lip, it makes the lip gloss look crisp.
Okay.
And so it's kind of like not outside the line. Sometimes when you see people with lipstick on, it's all outside of the lines of the lips.
It is.
So we just lip line it first and then add that color where necessary.
Wonderful. You look fantastic. Fantastic.
Thank you.
And we appreciate it. And so for our next model, what we're going to do is we're going to actually show you in action of how to apply the makeup on someone's face and get it such a wonderful look like you do with Sharon, so that people at home will be able to do this at home as well. So we're going to be right back with that. Thank you so much, Naomi. Sharon, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. All right, so we've got Mary here. Mary is with us now, getting ready to have her face made over. And so we're going to talk about the process of having that fresh, flawless face that most people want. And so talk to me about what is it that you do first before the foundation. What is it that you're doing?
Sure. I'm using primer. This specific brand is Smashbox.
Okay.
But you can use any kind of primer to have your foundation stay all day.
Okay.
A lot of the times when you're wearing it throughout the day, it starts to get greasy or starts to come off. It doesn't have that same look when you first applied.
Okay.
So you want to have a primer to make it stay all day.
Wonderful. Okay. And you're just putting that it goes all over the face, including the eyes and so
Yes.
forth. Okay. Okay.
And there's also different kinds of primers to kind of target your needs. If you want something that's for blemishes or redness, or even to smoothen your skin or even mattify,
Okay.
there's different kinds of primers that you can look into as well.
Wonderful. Okay. So because Mary has such a flawless face, I hate you, Mary. I love you, Mary. She has such a flawless face. Let's talk about the colors that you're choosing from Black Opal that we use here at Paris Hair and Beauty Spas.
Sure. Today we're going to be using a carbon.
Carob?
Carob.
Oh, Carob. Okay, Carob.
We're using Carob.
Okay.
It's one of the darker shades of Black Opal, and we're just blotting it into the skin to give it that polished and seamless look.
Now, you've also used a little bit of water on your sponge. Why?
Yes, so actually I saturate the sponge so it gives that moisture into the skin.
Okay.
And then the moisture or the water dries, and then it just helps the product apply so much easier.
Gotcha. And I love the way the foundation goes on so smoothly, which is unbelievable because she's already had beautiful skin, but you can actually see how sheen it's creating on her face.
Yes.
And you're blotting it. You're not like...
Yeah, not smearing
Right.
it, just getting it right in the pores, making that smooth.
No, wait a minute, Mary. How does it feel to you?
It feels good.
It feels good. Doesn't feel heavy. Okay.
It's real light, it is.
Yeah. Very, very nice. And just for the audience to know, her eyes were already done prior to the camera being set on the foundation. So she had her eyes already done and so forth. She didn't wake up all like this. But initially the eyes look wonderful. And the eyes, you actually just use the eyebrows. You just basically use the pencil
Yes.
and so forth. Okay. And again, folks, this color is Carob that's being used, and you're saying as the base.
Yes.
Okay, because she's doing two colors. Is it very difficult for darker skinned women to find the shade that they need, that they have to do 2 shades to blend?
Well, I always do 2 shades just because we want to highlight like the eyes and the bridge of the nose. They
Okay.
call it the T-zone area.
Yep.
So the forehead, the chin, the nose, and then under the eyes to really make them pop.
Wonderful.
So even though she's going to be having this as her foundation, we're going to be using a lighter color
Okay.
underneath of the eyes.
And which color is
also,
that?
Black Opal Concealer Hazelnut.
Oh, and this is the all concealer,
Yes.
all
So-
concealer
So it's a
foundation.
thicker consistency.
Okay.
We're just putting in our sponge. Look up for me, please. Eyes up. Look up.
Wow.
And this is going to hide any dark circles.
Wonderful. I see that. Not that you had dark circles.
Yeah.
Don't. But it actually really highlights around your eyes.
Yes.
Which is most people do. I notice even with lighter skin, you see the shade around their eyes like it's a
Yes.
little lighter.
Yes. And that's because the skin underneath of the eyes is thinner. So even though you may not be tired, it just looks tired because the skin is thinner.
Okay.
In that area.
Wonderful. All right, well, we are here with the final product for Mary and what her face looked like. Unbelievable. As you can see, you could look at the before shot, and now we see the after shot. And I have to tell you, you look amazing, Mary.
Thank you.
I mean, no, you really look amazing. She did a phenomenal job on you. But so, and again, it feels very light. It doesn't feel very heavy on you, correct?
No, very light.
Okay, all right. And so this look is very easy to achieve outside of all the other things like the eyelashes and so forth. But the foundation aspect of it is very easy to achieve. So I'm very happy about the results of her skin because I know that you mentioned it's very difficult for many darker skinned women to get one particular foundation, and she has 2 on.
Yeah.
What is the most challenging aspect of taking care of the face, taking the makeup off?
Making sure you're moisturizing after you remove the makeup because you're taking off all of the product and you really want to make sure that you're cleansing all of the makeup off. A lot of the times people wake up and they have a little bit of the eyeliner
Yes.
that they thought they got off the night before, but
Absolutely.
making sure that you're getting all the product off and then once doing so, moisturizing the face.
Wonderful. All right, well, Mary, thank you so much for allowing us to do the makeover on you.
Yes, thank
Absolutely
you.
stunning. And actually, thank you so much, Naomi.
No problem.
WairGlam in the house here in Jersey, but you actually travel elsewhere.
Yes.
All right, let's talk about how we can reach out to you.
You can reach us by phone, 609-424-7743. Facebook, Instagram, WairGlam, as well as our website, www.wearglammakeup.com. And contact us if you want to wear glam. We wear glam, and you can too.
And as you can see, it is glam. So what we're doing here, again, as a series, Paris Hair and Beauty Supplies, is really educating people on the importance of looking good. You know, the importance of education is extremely necessary for us because why? We need to be informed about what is it that we're buying. And so this is going to become a regular series, and Naomi and I are talking about teaming up with Paris Hair and Beauty Supplies and providing some more support for women who are looking to achieve the looks that they need without issues with skin and things of that nature. Because after the makeup, you want to be able to find a natural product that's going to help sustain the beautiful skin that's under it. So we thank you so much for joining us here at Paris Hair and Beauty Supplies. We appreciate WairGlam. Thank you,
problem.
Mary.
Thank you.
Huge shout out to Sharon Levy, who actually was one of our makeup contestants here. And so we look forward to seeing you at the next one. We bid you adieu. Thank you.